In a professional meeting, we often feel the need to fill every silence with more words, thinking it shows confidence. But actually, many experienced leaders do the opposite. They know that silence is a professional tool.
Exactly, Elena. Choosing when not to speak is just as essential as the words you choose. It allows you to observe the room, process information, and maintain a composed presence.
Welcome to Business English for Success. Today, we're focusing on the silent language of power. We'll move beyond just learning vocabulary. We're going to look at how a strategic pause and a few well-placed questions can help you lead a conversation with clarity and ease.
We've prepared 3 common workplace scenarios where using silence can refine your professional position. From handling unexpected questions to managing firm discussions, you'll learn how to use English with more influence.
And stay with us until the end because we've put together a practice session to help you apply these techniques in your next meeting. Let's look at our first scenario, handling a firm request about project costs. Now let's look at our first scenario. Imagine you are in a meeting with a potential partner. You've just presented your proposal, and the other person says, "The cost is much higher than we expected." Many professionals feel an immediate pressure to justify the price.
That's right, Elena. Let's see how this plays out in 3 different levels of business English.
At level 1, the speaker often speaks too much to manage the tension. They might say, "I think the price is fair because we put in a lot of effort and our team spent many hours on this. Maybe we can discuss a small discount?"
Using phrases like "I think" or offering a discount right away can lower your professional standing. It suggests you aren't fully confident in the value you provide.
Level 2 is much better. The speaker is direct. "I understand your concern. However, our pricing reflects the high-quality materials and the specialized expertise we bring to this project."
This is professional and polite. It protects the brand, but it still keeps you in a position where you are the one explaining.
Now, let's look at level 3. Instead of explaining, the speaker uses a strategic pause of 3 seconds. They look at the partner calmly, then ask a mirroring question.
Mirroring. So instead of a long explanation, you simply reflect their concern back to them?
Exactly. By staying silent for 3 seconds, you show that you are composed. You are comfortable with your price. Then you use a specific word, like steep or higher, to ask a question.
Wait, Elena, why use the word steep?
Good question, Marcus. Steep is a common professional term for a high price. By saying steep compared to your initial budget or so on, you encourage the other person to clarify. You move from defending to gathering information.
I see. So we use their own words to gain more insight. Now, to show you how this works, Elena and I will share a practical example. I will be the executive using level 3, and Elena will be the client. Pay attention to how the silence creates a professional atmosphere.
"Marcus, I have to be honest. This proposal is much higher than we anticipated."
Higher. Specifically in terms of the total investment or compared to the outcomes you expect from this project?
Well, I suppose we were looking at the quarterly budget specifically.
I see. If we look at the overall value for the full year, the efficiency of this plan actually optimizes the initial investment. Would you like to see those figures?
In this conversation, Marcus didn't apologize for the price. By asking a clarifying question, he discovered the client was only worried about the quarterly budget, not the total value. That is how you lead a discussion. Let's practice that level 3 response together. We will read it twice. First, listen to our intonation. Repeat after us and remember to keep that 3-second pause in your mind. Higher. specifically in terms of the total investment or compared to the outcomes you expect from this project?
Higher. Specifically in terms of the total investment or compared to the outcomes you expect from this project?
Excellent. Keeping your composure during that silence is the key.
Managing a discussion about money is vital. But what happens when you are in a meeting and someone asks you a very difficult, unexpected question about a project delay?
That is exactly what we will cover in our next scenario. We'll show you how to maintain your composure and turn a difficult moment into an opportunity to show your leadership. Let's move to scenario 2.
Now, let's move to a situation that happens to all of us. You are in the middle of a presentation, and a senior manager asks a very specific, detailed inquiry about an operational timing that you weren't prepared for.
This is a moment where many people feel the need to answer immediately, even if they don't have the full facts. Let's see how Elena and Marcus approach this.
At level 1, the response is often a bit disorganized. You might hear, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't really know the answer right now. Maybe it's because of the logistics. I will try to find out and tell you as soon as possible."
Apologizing too much or guessing the cause can make you seem less prepared. It creates a feeling of uncertainty in the room.
Level 2 is a solid professional response. "I don't have that specific data with me at the moment. I will look into the details and provide a full update by the end of the day."
This is a safe and clear answer. It shows responsibility, but it is still a bit reactive. You are simply promising to do a task later.
At level 3, you use a strategic pause to show you are processing the question seriously. You don't rush. Then, you use a thoughtful response technique to maintain your position.
So instead of just promising an answer later, you show that you are already managing the situation? Let's see how that works in detail.
Exactly. After the pause, instead of saying, "I don't know," you acknowledge the importance of the question. You use phrases like valid point or essential factor. Then you ask a question to narrow down their concern.
Right, and we should avoid using words like issue or setback, right?
Exactly, Marcus. We use words like adjustment or refinement. By asking, which specific metric is your main concern? You show that you are thinking about the big picture, not just the small detail.
I like that approach. Now, let's apply this in a professional context. Elena will be the manager asking a detailed question, and Marcus will demonstrate the level 3 technique.
Marcus, I noticed the regional rollout has been rescheduled twice this month. Why are we facing these operational adjustments again?
That's a valid point, Elena. To ensure I provide the most accurate update, are you more concerned about the logistics flow or the resource allocation for next month?
Well, my main concern is the resource allocation. We can't afford to have people waiting around.
I understand. Precisely because of that, we have already started finalizing a new schedule. I'll have the refined plan on your desk by 4 p.m.
By using that short silence and asking for a specific concern, Marcus didn't look like he was making excuses. He looked like a professional who was already completing the solution. He maintained a composed presence in the meeting.
Now, let's practice the key phrase Marcus used. Repeat after us. That's a valid point. Which specific metric is your main concern?
That's a valid point. Which specific metric is your main concern?
Great job. That tone shows you are in control.
It's impressive how silence can turn a detailed inquiry into a show of professional confidence. But Elena, what about those moments when you are speaking and someone constantly interrupts you?
The persistent interrupter. That is a very common challenge. In our final scenario, we'll show you a powerful way to use silence to regain your position in the room. This is a key technique for effective communication. We've arrived at our final scenario. We all have that one colleague who tends to interrupt or dominate the conversation before you can finish your point. In the professional world, this is often a challenging moment to manage.
It can be quite a challenge, but reacting with emotion often lowers your professional presence. Let's see how our 3 levels of response handle this.
At level 1, the speaker sounds like they are asking for permission to speak. They might say, "Wait, please, I haven't finished yet. Can I just say one more thing? I have more points to show you."
This makes you sound like you are competing for attention. It actually gives the interrupter more control over the discussion.
Level 2 is more direct. "Excuse me, I'm almost finished with this point. Please let me conclude before we move on to the next topic."
This is a fair and clear boundary. It works well in most cases, but it can sometimes create a bit of a defensive atmosphere in the meeting.
Now, level 3. This is where you use silence as a professional tool. When the other person interrupts, you stop speaking immediately. You don't try to finish your sentence. You stay completely silent and maintain calm eye contact until they stop talking.
I see. That silence makes the interruption very obvious to everyone else. It shows you are in full control of your emotions.
Exactly. Once the room is quiet, you don't show any frustration. Instead, you use a professional inquiry. You acknowledge their desire to contribute valuable insights while maintaining your position.
And that's where those sophisticated professional verbs come in, right? Like elaborate and wrap up.
Precisely. By asking the other person to elaborate on an idea, you are politely asking for substance and evidence. You are moving from a defensive position to a confident position. Let's see how Elena and Marcus handle this.
Let's see this technique in action. Marcus is presenting the quarterly review when an interruption occurs.
So, based on our quarterly review, I recommend that we focus our resources on...
Actually, Marcus, I think we should talk about the new social media campaign first. I've seen some data that suggests we are missing out on.
It seems you have valuable insights to share, Elena. Should we elaborate on your idea right now, or can I wrap up my point first?
Sorry, Marcus. Please go ahead and finish your point first. In this situation, Marcus didn't need to compete for attention. By stopping immediately, he highlighted the interruption naturally. His question was polite, but very firm, ensuring he could wrap up his presentation with everyone's full attention.
Now, let's practice this key phrase. We will read it twice. Listen to Marcus first, then repeat after us. Focus on being calm and steady.
It seems you have valuable insights to share. Should we elaborate on your idea now, or can I wrap up my point first?
It seems you have valuable insights to share. Should we elaborate on your idea now, or can I wrap up my point first?
Excellent. That balance of politeness and firmness is a sign of professional confidence.
We've covered 3 very different situations where silence and the right questions can give you a significant professional advantage.
But how do you remember all of these phrases when you are in a professional meeting?
That is why we've prepared a specialized recap and a full shadowing review coming up next. We'll bring all the key phrases together so you can internalize them and use them naturally tomorrow. Stay with us for the final summary. We have covered a lot today. From managing cost discussions to handling interruptions, the core lesson remains the same. Silence is not a lack of words. It is a sign of professional confidence.
Right, Elena. It's about taking a moment to think before you act.
Now, to help you truly internalize these techniques, we've gathered the 3 most essential phrases for a final practice. Let's do this together.
Let's practice our 3 power phrases together. We will demonstrate each one first, then it's your turn. Focus on the pause and your professional tone. First, Marcus, please.
Higher. Specifically in terms of the total investment or compared to the outcomes you expect?
Higher. Specifically in terms of the total investment or compared to the outcomes you expect? Excellent. Second, maintain a calm, professional tone.
That's a valid point. Which specific metric is your main concern?
That's a valid point. Which specific metric is your main concern? Very well done. Finally, last practice. Keep your eye contact.
It seems you have valuable insights to share. Should we elaborate on your idea now, or can I wrap up my point first?
Finally, it seems you have valuable insights to share. Should we elaborate on your idea now, or can I wrap up my point first?
Perfect. Using these pauses and phrases might feel a bit unusual at first. But with practice, you will notice how they help you maintain your composure and lead more effective meetings.
Exactly. Business English is about more than just grammar. It is about how you present yourself as a professional. We hope these scenarios give you more confidence in your next professional interaction.
Thank you for joining us today at Business English for Success. If you found these techniques helpful, please share this video with a colleague who might benefit from them. We look forward to hearing about your progress in the comments.
Keep practicing, keep observing, and we will see you in our next session. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone.